Good morning. Welcome to the meeting for January 28th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow your heads for a prayer. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance on this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
Minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, January 21st and Thursday, January 23rd.
Second. Any discussion, or corrections, changes? Roll call.
Hambly?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Next, is there any public comment regarding pending resolutions? Is there any public in the room? I don't know. Okay, we'll move on to resolutions. We'll start with Jeremy Cinco, sanitary engineer. Morning, Jeremy.
Morning, everyone. 3 resolutions for consideration today. The first is directing the sanitary engineers to execute an agreement with Answer Advisory to provide construction supervision and inspection services for 2025. The second is authorizing the sanitary engineer to request qualifications for professional design services to model the existing aeration tanks at the Hinckley Wastewater Treatment Plant. And the third is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter into an agreement with Dixon for construction inspection services for the Gayer and water storage tank rehabilitation project.
Move to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Hambly?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Next up, HR, Holly. Hi, Holly.
Good morning.
Good
On our
morning.
personnel changes resolution today, we have 1 new hire in maintenance, 28 rate increases, 26 in sanitary, 1 in maintenance, 1 in commissioners, 1 rate adjustment at Job and Family Services, 1 date change at Job and Family Services, and 1 leave of absence in transit. Second resolution is approving the 3-year collective bargaining agreement and wage increases between Teamsters Local 293, representing Job and Family Services and the Medina County Board of Commissioners. And the third resolution is approving a 3-year collective bargaining agreement and wage increases between Teamsters Local 293, representing Child Support Enforcement Agency and the Medina County Board of Commissioners.
Move to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second. Discussion. Roll call.
Hambly?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. Next up, we have Matt Springer for finance today. Matt?
Good morning. Just filling in for Brett Thomas, who had to take a step away for a moment. The first resolution is approving cash transfers. These are for fourth quarter grants associated with the Office for Older Adults for 2024. The second resolution is another cash transfer for Medina County EMA. The third resolution is approving the purchase of 7,100 gallons of fuel. Centerra was the low bid at $2.07 per gallon. The fourth is allowing for expenses for county officials. Nothing is out of state. And then the fifth and final is the approval of the weekly expenses in the amount of $1,808,439.58.
Move to approve the 5 resolutions.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to mention, I think the EMA transfer, that's actually the payment of the dues, the county portion, per the agreed to a formula between the communities. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Great.
Very good.
Roll call.
Hambly?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you. Then I'll move right into the IT. There's just one resolution request, and this is approving a fiber service agreement through the Medina County Port Authority. This would fix our costs for a 30-year period with 2 5-year extensions. This would maintain our existing and future pricing structure on all the various fiber connections we have for county facilities throughout the county. This has been reviewed by the prosecutor's office and approved. This is a really good arrangement for the county to secure our interests for the long-term future.
Move to approve.
Second. And that it does bind future if there's any kind of transition there. Great.
That's correct.
Yep. Roll call.
Hambly?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, department updates. Debbie Kiley.
fast today. Just two resolutions for your consideration this morning. The first is authorizing the advertisement for proposals relating to our comprehensive case management employment program for youth. And then also, the next one is amending our PRC plan, our prevention, retention, and contingency plan for job and family services.
Move to approve both resolutions.
Second, discussion?
Yeah, just a quick question. I know that you're working with the new emergency shelter operation over there, and I know there was also looked to make some modifications to the PRC. Does this do that, or those?
It does,
Okay.
a portion of it.
Got it.
In the emergency shelter program that we have included in our PRC plan, before we didn't include first month's rent
Right.
for those homeless individuals. We're now including that as part of, if they're in that shelter, that will be included. And we're also including more supportive services for those that are in that shelter that's outside of our PRC plan. I'm actually meeting with the Housing Authority next week to talk about more costs associated to the shelter itself, like how our PRC plan can assist with more of the day-to-day activities that happen in the shelter.
Okay, so but this is that, because they're getting ready to open up. I know they've already done all the tours, public tours that they can. And once, of course, they open up, for those that need it, it's not going to be open for general public look. So this is getting in place just in time for them to be able to start opening up the doors.
It is.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Roll call?
Hambley?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Department updates?
Yep,
As
sure.
I typically do in my reporting for January, is just some high-level statistics for 2024. So for the Public Assistance Division, they've processed over 9,600 applications for assistance, and speaking of PRC, they processed over 870 requests. The highest request was actually transportation, help individuals fix their cars so they can continue employment or start employment, and then the second was certainly housing-related costs. We've issued over $31 million in SNAP benefits and $950,000 plus in cash assistance benefits for families in need. The division is consistently over. The state has a 95% timeliness rate for SNAP applications, meaning if as soon as an application is submitted to the agency, we have 30 days to approve or deny, take action on that case. The state says it needs to be 95%. We're consistently over that, and several months in a row we're at 100%. So every application that comes in, it's getting approved within 30 days. Our Child Support Division, they've collected over $18 million in current support due payments and over $3.8 million in past due payments. And they've established paternity on over 98% of the cases that are needing paternity established on those cases. And we just received notice that the division received the award for best performance on collections of current support within the state of Ohio, and the division has never received this award before.
Great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, big applaud to them.
job.
Yep.
Our Child Protective Division, we screened over 1,500 reports of abuse and neglect. We've averaged 113 children in care, and an astounding 85 children left our care in 2024. 6 of those were adopted, 6 emancipated out of our care, and the balance were either reunified with their family, their parents, or other relative caretakers. At the end of 2024, we had 55 foster homes, and 4 of those are kinship homes. Those are individuals that are relatives to provide care for the children that we have taken custody of. Our average in those foster homes, we have 70 children in placement with our licensed foster families, and approximately 25 of our total children in care are currently in facilities throughout the state for behavioral health needs. Actually, this division too continues to be recognized by the state for our investigative efforts. They also have percentages that agencies need to meet for timely investigation as well as visitation of those families that we have in care. And we've considered not only the most improved, but meeting those timelines throughout, I think September is when we were recognized. So they're continuing to do fantastic work. And just for 2025, some high-level things that we're working on. We're working with Judge Dunn's court and the Children's Center to establish a court-appointed special advocate. It's a CASA program. That's just furthering assist those children that are in all of our continuums of care. With Housing Authority, we're working with Next Step Up Shelter, providing assistance for residents there. And then we're going to continue collaborations with Portage and Columbiana counties. We've currently started this like back in October of last year, and it's a shared treatment foster care network. So we're going to license homes for those individuals that present a behavioral health need that doesn't require a facility level of care. They can receive that treatment and be better in a home rather than a facility. So that those three counties, Portage, Columbia, and Medina, are going to work together to network those families. So if Medina County doesn't have a family available for those higher acuity need children, we can reach out to Portage and Columbiana and share those homes.
That's great.
So those are just some high level things for 2025.
I believe Judge Dunn is coming in at some meeting next month to present a little bit about CASA. I'm not sure if, we're still working on finalizing the date, but I don't know if you'll plan to be here for
Yes.
that or not, but that'd be great.
I will be.
It's a
Indeed.
good- really good program.
It is.
So,
It
yep.
is.
Great. Any other questions?
Nope.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Debbie.
Thank you.
Next up, Shannon Ryan, Transit. Shannon, I appreciate the ability to call you up here when you're actually prepared to present.
Very good,
to us.
thank you.
Yeah, when you're supposed to be instead of when I just decide to. So
I forgot about that.
I didn't. But thanks for being here.
So looking at our transit report for December, ridership continued to stay strong. We were above the averages for 2023. And even with the chillier weather, we maintain ridership. Miles continue to stay, down. Fuels reduced based on the number of miles we're traveling. Trip denials, happy to say there was only 6. That's 6 too many, as I've said before, but we've made quite a dent from 2023 averages of 47 a month. So averaging for 2024, 18 a month. So reducing cost is just more of the byproduct of running microtransit service. We've seen a significant reduction. I have some numbers I'll share, as Debbie did, some highlights from 2024. Looking at our monthly contract summary, we continue to provide really good service to the agencies, and partnerships have, just continued to improve through partnerships of different distance trips with JFS and partnering with McSass to make sure that we take care of the seniors and where they want to go. Our supplemental services is something we're looking at. I'll be coming with a resolution to, we're in the second year, we're going into a third year option with our current provider and looking at some technology improvements with them, same things that we've been doing. Maybe we can help them get better, but their cost and ridership remains strong. Down a little bit for December, I think the chillier weather. As I mentioned, going just some high level things, I just have about 4 points to make. We were, from the previous year, 2023 to 2024, we saved about 4,200 miles a month in miles, which equates to about 48,000 miles for the year. That's really big in transit and our ridership from 2022 to 2024 went up 12%. So we've continued to lower mileage, keep costs down, but improve ridership 12%. So it's really worked even more than I thought it could. So, and we're continuing to get better. Trip denials, as I said, averaging 48 and 23 were 18. That's a 62% decrease in trip denials. That's really nice to see that. And the last thing I'll say is we had just an increase in overall cost, which helps us maintain a service that is getting more expensive. We had a 9% decrease in monthly cost. But those costs are just realized this year from the previous. I'm sure things will be going up as they do, price of bus, price of materials, price of just about everything. But the team is looking good. We've got a lot of new dedicated office staff that really have taken ownership of the business on a day-to-day basis, which helps us, provide better service to the passengers. So.
Do you control for the cost of fuel when you say the year-over-year price increase, or if fuel, which I think was probably down last year on balance from the year before, but do you know what percentage or what portion of that is from fuel cost?
Fuel didn't really fluctuate too much.
Okay.
It was up and down month over month from what we saw, but just fuel usage, basically. Saving gallons of fuel has been our biggest. I think we'll realize some more if we believe that this year will be a reduction in fuel costs because we're gasoline. It'll help us even more to have, but our miles is kind of evened out now with the number of riders we have.
Yeah.
Kind of we like to say we can budget for fuel, but it's a variable cost, you just can't.
Right.
We can only try to reduce our miles, which reduces fuel.
Yeah, but so that expense is more like it's a operating expense, not just the fluctuation of fuel.
It's realized because of reduction in miles,
Yep.
not just fuel. But
Yep.
I consider fuel to be one of the things that we still need to focus on, make sure that we're running the business the most efficient possible. And there's always a balance between customer service and fuel and miles. Somebody wants to go home when they should wait and go pick up somebody else before they take that person home.
Right.
So we're learning a lot about that. Our technology is helping us, do it more efficiently with the balance of customer service, which
The metric of more customers and covering less miles, that I think tells the story, and I think it's
it
a
does
great
too.
story. Yep, because nobody wants to be on the bus longer than they need to be either.
Yeah.
So that's
we try to
win-win.
have, the average distance on a flex trip is about an eighth of a mile average. It's about 7 or 8 on a demand trip. So people are traveling from Westfield, that's a long trip, to Brunswick. There's somebody that comes that far. So a lot of it, that's an extreme case.
Yep.
Some other if you have any questions about any other updates, we had another update. We had some resolution with Greater Cleveland RTA about the Brunswick Laurel Square bus stop. They are working, and we advised that through federal funding, they could provide the funds to secure that service, and it will stay in place.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, they. We shared our thoughts. They shared theirs. We shared again.
Good.
It's a good outcome.
It was a very good outcome.
Yep.
Very good. Great.
Good. Great.
Good
Questions?
job. No, good job.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Keep up the good work. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up, Stacy Malikar from the DD board.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, some updates for you. I want to start off with, in November, we received our 3-year state accreditation through the Department of Developmental Disabilities. And again, that's the highest level that you can receive. While it's a pretty intense survey, ensuring that we're in compliance with the Ohio Revised Code and Medicaid rules, they also interviewed families and individuals about their services and supports. And one of the things that we're most proud of is that the surveyors recognize that our staff really know the individuals and their families, that they have established some really great working relationships and just knowing each other. So we're really proud of that. I have for you, and I have a copy for that to you. For Colleen also. This is our new strategic plan. I've been talking about it. So this is our 2025 to 2027 strategic plan for you. I've also included in there a wrap up from our 22-24 strategic plan, our final 2024 action plan of the past strategic plan, as well as our action plan for 2025. So there's a lot of information there. Take a look at it. Certainly if you have questions or that, please feel free to get a hold of me. But a lot of good stuff. We've accomplished a lot of good stuff, and we've got, some high aspirations for the next 3 years.
Good.
Momentum Refresh. So I wanted to talk about Momentum Refresh for just a moment. As you know, Momentum Refresh, we contracted with them. They are a mobile restroom facility for people with mobility needs. It has been a tremendous success. We have had, just a little bit of stats, we've had 423 visitors this past year. 260 of those actually use the facilities, and another 163 visited it to see what's going on. We were at events. We were at the county fair, which was huge. We've been trying to find a way to get adaptive restroom facilities there so that everyone can enjoy the fair. We were at Taste of Wadsworth, Scare on the Square, Main Street Medina Fall Fest, Medina Meadows Fall Fest, Medina Chocolate Walk, Medina Candlelight, Wadsworth Candlelight. So we've had a lot of success. We are booking up for this year. We're trying to expand and get into different areas within the county from just Medina and Wadsworth. So we're really excited about that.
Great.
Just another, wanted to recognize, we have 3 new board members this year, and we have a young woman, Adina, that is taking our spot for a person with developmental disabilities, and so that was your appointment, and we appreciate that. It's nice to have her on the board and for her to share her real-life experiences, and I think it's going to have a huge impact. Some fun stuff. I always like to end with fun stuff. In December, Judge Dunn, as always, came out with Bill the Bear, and he brought special guests, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. It's always a great morning. So they come out, they distribute Bill the Bears that some of the youth in the juvenile detention program have made for the kids. And yesterday, just another positive rumor, as I like to call them, we had our toddler group up at Brunswick Library, and we had 40 participants, which was great considering, weather's a little dicey. And again, it's just a great opportunity for young children, families, both with disabilities and without disabilities, to really play and get to know each other. So a lot of good stuff.
Good. The momentum refresh, is there,
Yeah.
You might have said this, and if I missed it, I apologize. Is there a contract renewal to that, or is that just you contract with them by the event?
We contracted by event numbers, and it's a 2.5-year contract. So when we
Okay.
originally signed up last year, we committed to.
So they'll be back at the fair this year?
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
and that's something that we were committed to doing.
Yep.
Until there's a time when they're able to actually build a adaptive facility.
Right.
But yeah, it's just huge. It's a game changer for people.
Yep. Well, I think you might see more usage of it now that people know that it's available.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, not that we mentioned it last
Right.
year
It's,
too, but.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wasn't able to stay till the end, but I was at the board meeting last night. I thought there was some good discussion.
There was some great
You've got a
yeah.
good dynamic there. And,
Yeah.
I think all 3 new board members are going to add a lot to
Absolutely.
the discussion.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
Good.
Anything else?
Yep.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy, take care. Okay, next we have a commissioner's resolution. This is a resolution reappointing township representatives and an alternate and a representative for the village to the Medina County Council of Governments on Drug Enforcement. This appoints Joe Canestraro, Kent Patterson, and Bruce Christopher, with Joe and Kent as the township representatives, Bruce Christopher as the alternate, and then Mayor Carol Carter from the Village of Seville as the village representative.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion? Roll call.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Great. Public comment. Is there any public comment? I don't think so. Okay. Discussion session. Matt?
Yeah, just take a brief moment to let the public know who's watching. This past Friday, we had some equipment failure in our elevator here at the administration building. We've since posted some messages on our website as well as through social media, trying to make people aware that currently access to the second and third floor is restricted to the stairs only. We're working on the situation with our elevator company. As we receive more information, we'll be sure to share that publicly. We just want to make folks aware that getting access to the second and third floors through the stairs only. So we are working on the situation, and we'll be sure to keep you posted.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And anything else, Kyle? Do you have anything? No? Steve?
Nope, I don't have anything.
I'll just mention, just kind of by way of an update too, because I know there's some comments on social media about it. There was a situation at the dog shelter with a dog being dropped off in the very cold weather. It has a happy ending. So, and I think that I don't think there was any information contrary to that shared on social media, but it is important that folks are following the procedures that are out there in terms of after hours drop offs and things like that, because this one was dropped off on a Sunday, I think just after the time where the staffing wasn't there. It was discovered on Monday morning, but it was pretty cold already at that point in time. But the staff that was there, Monday was a holiday, but the staff that was there check up on the dogs on the holiday morning were able to bring its temperature back up and give it the care that it needed. And even more happy ending, it was able to be reunited with its family. So this was
good.
one of those stories. So it was not an abuse or neglect situation. It was just a dog that kind of got out and was probably afraid and very cold. And the staff did a good job taking care of it in the midst of the holiday. So, but just wanted to make sure for people who had part of the story or parts of the story that was shared as well. So, with that, if there's nothing else, then I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation and to consider the investigation charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual.
And I will second that. And we need a roll call.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Thank you very much. We will conclude our meeting from there. We won't be back on camera, so we'll see you next week.
Yeah.